There are, oh boy, I got a handful of things. Not enough, but here's another story. Actually, I'm gonna wait on that one for a second. In addition to that story, I got an email with somebody wanting to talk about atheist discrimination and if there were examples of atheist discrimination. And of course, we're producing the show out of Austin. Austin, great town. I don't run into a whole lot of discrimination. Yes, occasionally some caller will call up and, threaten to punch me in the face or whatever, but I have the feeling that they're more interested in hearing themselves on television than they are about actually doing anything. I don't know. Are any of you aware of any serious cases of discrimination against atheists here in the Austin area that we run into? I'm not aware of too many, but it does happen. And one of the things that I refer them to was the Smolkowski case out of Oklahoma, which I may go into some details in a little while. But there's discrimination of another sort that we end up kind of working in opposition to. And it's really kind of complicated to talk about, but people have this understanding that they have the right to their religious beliefs. And so they think that this gives them carte blanche to do whatever they want on behalf of their religious beliefs. But that's not true. You can't sacrifice your kid just because it's your sincere religious belief that, this is a good thing. The state actually will step in and try to prevent it and punish you if you actually do it. We don't allow you to do whatever. We kind of bend rules on occasion. There's a religious tribe that just recently fought and won the right to use hallucinogenic drugs as part of their rituals, despite the fact that they're illegal in the United States. I'm not quite sure exactly where I stand on that. I'm pretty sure that as long as it's illegal, it should be illegal for everybody, and we don't need to bend the rules for religious groups. On the other hand, whether or not it should be legal is a separate question. But it seems that the basic idea behind religious freedom and governmental neutrality is that the only valid position the government should ever take with regard to religion is one of complete neutrality, hands off, and the only time they should intervene is when they have to settle some sort of dispute between competing religious views. My rights end where yours begin, your rights end where mine begin. And there is some overlap, and those are the areas where we sacrifice rights to be part of a cooperative society. We freely give up the right to do whatever we want in order to live together because we realize that what we do has impact on other people. So this discrimination claim that comes from some theists is often one of they'd like to go and do whatever they want with their religion, including imposing it upon other people through legislation. Now, you're free to vote your conscience and you're free to vote based on your religious views. But when you try to stop them from doing that, for example, take the case of government-led mandatory prayer and Bible readings in schools. Now, this was removed largely in part of Madalyn Murray O'Hair, who became the most hated woman in America. And to this day, mainly Christians. I don't want to just pick on Christians, but we do live in a country that's 80%ish Christian. We'll say, oh, Madalyn Murray O'Hair, she was evil. She wanted to get rid of prayer in schools. And this representative was doing much the same thing. Oh, you just want to get this mandatory moment of silence out of school and all this other stuff, and you really don't care about kids, or instead you'd be working on getting guns out of school. That's kind of a red herring claim there. But they're lying about what Madalyn Murray O'Hair did. She didn't remove prayer from school. You can still pray in school. Kids can still pray quietly to themselves. They can even have groups. You've got Campus Crusade for Christ on colleges. You've got Teens for Christ at public schools. They can have those organizations, and as long as they're not using government funds or through mandate requiring other people to participate in their activity. It's not like you could bring in Josh McDowell for a student assembly and require the entire student body to go down there and listen to him preach. That's not the case.